So here I am. Here we are again. Only this time, the tiny drop of wisdom is coming from the night. I'm not sure if you can hear it, but there's a cicada in the distance. There's some frogs in a pond behind me. And I'm standing under a sky full of stars. In the great majesty and mystery of the night. As I look to my right, the moon is sending its gentle beams, its femininity, down to the field where I'm standing. And if I'm brutally honest, I haven't planned to say anything in particular, but I just wanted to be in a different place, under a different landscape, and share with you the beauty of the night, the silence of the night. Everything looks so different at night. There's still a bit of a breeze, but today was very windy. And, well, it's really calmed down. The trees have a different kind of shadowy complexion, much more mystical. All the noises are different. I mean, they're more gentle. That's the wind blowing through the trees. It just feels so peaceful. It's almost like the universe just stops and allows us to breathe. I don't know about you, but I meditate so much better at night. And I wonder if it's a bit like when you have Wi-Fi and there's too many people using it. And I was wondering if it's the same really for, space, for meditation, to be able to get to that kind of quiet place. I was wondering if meditation is similar, where we all tap into a certain energy system in the different regions of the earth. And at night time, when most people are sleeping, they're not connected. And so it allows us to go deeper, to a more profound place, so we can almost wire ourselves to source. One of my heroes, I never got to meet them, but Thoreau is someone who... Listen to that. Isn't that beautiful? He has so many beautiful quotes about finding space in nature. And he famously said, "Not until we are lost do we truly discover and understand ourselves." I think he's right. I think we all... I'm not sure if you can hear that frog in the background. It's so beautiful. But yeah, I think we all need to go into the wilderness, the spiritual wilderness, or life's wilderness, and truly lose ourselves. So we can find the space to be able to think clearly. So we can, I don't know whether it's almost like we get into a certain level of fear about, where am I? What am I going to do? I don't know if you ever got lost in the wilderness. But I once went walking through the forest, deep in the forest, in a place called Tayrona National Park in Colombia, of all places. And I genuinely got completely lost. And it was a tropical jungle, basically. And I'd run out of water. And I actually literally thought I was going to die. I mean, it was getting to that point because I'd walked for 3 hours in one direction, I'm sure, and I ended up finding myself back in the place I started, which was in the middle of the forest, which I didn't know where I was. And yeah, literally no water, no people. There's a bat just flown past me. Hello, bat. And then, probably an hour later, I was panicking like an absolute idiot, as you would, because it was about 37 degrees, and I didn't know what lived in the jungle at night in Colombia, but some pretty big things, I imagine. And lo and behold, a man came past on a horse. Now, I don't speak great Spanish, but he came up to me, and I knew enough to know that the mar was the sea, and I knew that the sea was somewhere in that region, and he pointed me in the direction of the sea. And I found my way out. I often wonder who that man was. I'd never met him before, and I'll never meet him again probably, but I did wonder if he genuinely was human, or whether it was some kind of angel in human clothes. But, I mean, that moment is one of many which I could have told you, which just illustrate that when you're in that situation where you think the end is near, or you suddenly see the possibility that maybe your time has come, well, the world changes. Everything turns on its head. And suddenly you are facing the prospect of the big questions that you have in life having to be answered very quickly. What's going to happen to me? Where am I going to go? And I don't want to sound dour or negative in any way here. But I've made peace with death. Not just because of that moment in the forest. But I honestly can say, apart from the fact that I desperately would love to see my children growing up, because I am the proudest father in the world. And also because perhaps my greatest dream is to meet my grandchildren. You know, I always remember looking at my grandmother and grandfather when they were sat in the chair in the lounge in their house in Blackpool, England. And the whole family was there, and they just sat there looking out so proudly at their legacy, at the fruit of their lives. Eight grandchildren. So beautiful. And that must be an incredible feeling. I don't know how many people on the Sacred Paws have grandchildren, but wow, what an honour, what an honour. So, what am I trying to say here? Well, I'm just trying to say that there's so much beauty in this world, so much beauty. And I think at night it feels even more beautiful. I mean, where and how have those stars come from? Anyone who doesn't believe in a greater force, in something bigger in this universe, only need come and stand right where I am now and look up at a sky full of hundreds of stars and planets, all looking back at me. Look at the moon. That's all you need to know. That's all you need if ever you doubt that there's not something else. Wow. And the other incredible thing about life, and I'm sorry if the wind's affecting this, it's just a little buffeting wind coming through where I am, this field, is when a child is born. I mean, I don't know if you've ever had the opportunity to be there and witness it, or even to be the woman who becomes the Stargate, who becomes the bridge between heaven and earth. I mean, is it any wonder women are more exquisite and more wise and understanding of the grandeur of the universe than men? I mean, come on. You guys are just sensational. You are the link between heaven and earth. And here's us blokes just watching sport and going for a beer. How could we possibly even understand? It seems like a massive mismatch to me. So, respect to all you beautiful women. But childbirth, I mean, to go through that process of creating a baby when we make love, I mean, how perfect is that? The most exquisite thing we do in life. Making love, creating another human being. Wow. So, there we go. A sky full of stars and the miracle of childbirth and creation. And anyone who doubts that we're not at least a tiny little piece of God really needs to think about those two things. Because we are extraordinary. Human beings are the most incredibly designed animals. So perfect. So if ever you question your power, your extraordinariness, the miracle of life, I really recommend you go and stand in a field at night and watch the sky and listen to nature. And focus on the moon. And feel the wind upon your face. And connect with earth, with your heart. So I'll leave you to the cicadas and beauty of our planet and say thank you for listening. I love you all. It's an honor to walk among you. It really is. Yours in love and peace. Peter.